So we're on our way to see Unknown.
With Liam Neeson.
And some chick that was just on The Daily Show. She's from South Dakota. What do you know about this movie?
I've seen previews. I don't know, it looks interesting, although it sounds really familiar to another movie that I can't remember the name of. Where, you know, it's like he wakes up and nobody knows who he is, and it's like he has this case of amnesia.
Well, that's the thing, is that I guess he doesn't have the amnesia. Everyone else does, apparently. Something like that. And I haven't seen... I think we saw a trailer for it when we saw something else. I don't remember what. And I saw a clip of it on The Daily Show a night or two ago. And so I know that he wakes up. He was in a coma. He wakes up and, like, I don't know if nobody remembers or what, but I know his wife doesn't remember. And his wife apparently is married to someone else. And I know that on the poster it says, "Take back your life," which implies that someone is scamming him. I guess.
I don't know.
Obviously something fishy is going on.
Yeah.
But that's it. I don't know the details of it. I'm going into this, except for all that stuff that I just talked about. We're going into this pretty blind, which I don't do very much. I usually find out a lot about the movie before I go see it. Not necessarily because of that. I'm just curious about the movie.
Well, it had a pretty good rating on the IMDb.
7.9.
All right.
What am I going to do next year?
You are going to go forward, my dear. And are we done?
Well, I think it's going to be good. I hope it's going to be good. I like Liam Neeson. Did you and I see him in that movie with his daughter? Taken?
Yeah.
He was good. It was okay, that one.
Okay.
I like seeing him kick ass. Maybe he'll do some more in this one. I hope so.
Well, now we're just rambling. So,
all right.
See you after the show.
So we just saw Unknown. That's what we saw.
I couldn't think of the name at first either.
I'm going to leave the light on.
Okay.
So what did you think of it?
You know what? I liked it. I thought it was the story was very strong.
So first, I mean, just general impressions of the movie.
I thought it was very good. I thought the story was very strong. The characters were believable. You know, as you get further into the movie, you kind of understand more the way they act.
Yeah, and there was even, well, I thought it was good. It certainly, it wasn't the best movie ever, but it was definitely very good. And there were some aspects of it that I really thought was very cool. I mean, right off the bat, this isn't giving anything away. Liam Neeson gets into a car wreck. You know, that's in the trailer. But what was very cool about this scene was that he gets knocked out, and the driver doesn't. She is obviously female, and she's much smaller than Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson's like 6'5". And what I thought was very cool was that she rescues him. You don't usually see that. You don't usually see a smaller female character rescuing a much bigger male character.
Yeah.
You know, and I thought that was very cool. I almost thought that was great. I'm sure it's been done before, but I mean, it happens in the real world. I'm sure it does. I mean, not all rescues are men rescuing women or men rescuing men. I'm sure that women rescue men from time to time. Probably happens just as often as the other way around, but you never see it in the movie. And this time you saw it, and it was very cool. I loved that.
Yeah.
The other thing I loved about this movie, and this isn't giving anything away either, is it shows scientists, and the scientists and the science are the good guys. You don't see that. Well, you didn't used to see that very often. Now you do see it more. And I love that. I love that growing trend. I love the popularization of science because it's a very real aspect and something that we don't talk about. At least we haven't talked about very much in this country.
You're gonna have to slow down.
Okay.
This is like a hairpin turn.
So, did you have anything else before we get into spoilers?
Other than it was a really good movie.
Yeah.
So.
I got so fast.
I told you, you're gonna have to slow down.
Yeah, it was good. I would see it again. There are some parts I didn't like about it, but I don't know if I can go into that until we get into the next section. So you want to move into the next section?
Yeah.
Okay. Big fat spoilers. What did you think? Or go into what were you saying earlier?
I love the twist. I'm gonna turn left here.
Okay.
I totally was not expecting that.
Mm-hmm.
However, it did remind me of the Bourne Identity series.
Yeah, same here.
But if you put that aside, it really was pretty awesome how he all of a sudden, is told that, no, this life you think that you're living is a lie. You made that up. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, and that's something that had me guessing at first, too. I was like, all right, what is going on here? I mean, is he... I mean, first you think, yeah, he is who he says he is, and then it's like, well, what if he is totally crazy? And then that's kind of something else I liked about it was, like everything else in life, the truth was somewhere in the middle,
Yeah.
And you were right, I mean, about the whole Bourne Identity thing. That's something that I noticed. I noticed a trend in media, or at least it reminded me of, am I going to turn right? An aspect that makes it similar to Bourne Identity is the whole assassin losing his memory and then gaining redemption by going against his former master, so to speak.
Yeah.
Or his former
self.
His former self, yeah. He's rebelling against his former self.
Yeah, it was... I thought that was pretty neat, too. It's funny, because I remember partway through the movie, we kind of looked at each other, and I think I whispered in your ear, and I said how January Jones' acting was, like, super shitty.
Yeah, and this one thing...
Well, I don't know, it just, every scene, before we find out the twist and all that, she just seems like a totally flat character, like... Yeah,
well, her acting is just kind of neutral. It's like, well, what's the deal? Is she his wife? And, like, what? She's so blasé. And then you find out later, oh, that's why, because, well, we don't have to give away everything. I mean, even though this is spoilers, even though we're talking about spoilers, I still don't want to give away everything. Some things I didn't like about it, that twist that we saw, the twist, obviously, where he turns out to be, it was, I almost bought it. I almost believed it, but not quite enough. That and the line at the end, the big one-liner right before he kills the guy. Liam Neeson says, "I remember enough." Or see if I can do this thing. I remember enough. I remember how to kill you, asshole. Like, yeah. Stick around. I mean, I love Liam Neeson.
Hasta la vista.
Yeah.
Baby. Yeah,
I love Liam Neeson doing action stuff, but he was kind of pushing it with the, say something snappy right before you kill the guy.
Yeah.
Expecting to go, get to the chopper!
Yeah.
Something like that. All my impressions are just impressions of other people doing impressions. That was Mad TV. I don't remember. Oh, Will Sasso. Anyway, is there anything you didn't like about it?
You know what? Other than, no, I really can't think of anything I didn't like.
Yeah, For me, I love the idea. I love the idea of assassins. You know, it's exciting, but I've seen enough of it that I just don't believe it that much. I mean, I know they exist in real life. I'm pretty sure. I mean, you don't really hear about it, but every time someone dies, and I don't. If assassins exist, I don't think they would go after high-profile people because I don't know. Anyway, that's another discussion. I don't know. I've seen enough assassin movies.
Yeah.
You know.
But it was very cool though. The motive, like, I mean, if they really did develop something like that, a crop like that, I mean.
Yeah, the science you're talking about, the corn.
Yeah, I mean the fact that.
Yeah, take that, anti-genetically modified fooders. It's very true. That kind of stuff saves lives. Norman Borlaug. Yeah. Is that what you're going to say about it?
Yeah, you interrupted me.
Oh, sorry.
Cut me off. Yeah. The way they explained it really made a lot of sense. Because if you think about it, if that would have happened today, you bet people would capitalize on that. I mean, shit, you know?
Yeah.
Greedy motherfucker.
The one thing that I wish they had gone into detail more, that they didn't, we just sort of accepted it, we the audience, is why, when Liam Neeson, remembers everything, remembers that he's who he is, why does he then turn on his former self, on his former keepers? You know, why does he go against all that stuff? It doesn't really give a good reason for why he would want to betray that life and that motive.
Yeah, I mean, if they said he's been doing it for so long, it's like, why all of a sudden the change of heart?
I don't have a problem with him doing it. I just want an explanation, you know, without being too cheesy about it.
Something that it kind of made me laugh, I suppose I could say it's something I didn't like about it, was he hits his head and it's like he forgets everything, and then, you know, he thinks that his alias is who he really is.
Yeah, his cover.
But then, later on in the movie, he hits his head again, and he starts remembering, like, more about the truth. Yeah. And it was kind of cartoony, like.
Yeah, that's
one of the old.
That's a mechanism that's been done before.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of the old Looney Tunes cartoons, you know?
Yeah, hit your head and lose your memory, hit your head again,
and all of a sudden you remember.
Right.
That made me laugh, but I guess that's the only thing I didn't like about it, because it was kind of like, oh, come on.
Yeah. Well.
You know, head trauma really isn't, I don't think, really causes that.
One thing I also liked was the scene where between the two older guys, the German guy and the tall guy from Dave and the Superman movies. That guy always plays the heavy, you know. He always plays like someone really basically an antagonist, but not really a villainous antagonist. Just like a really mean boss, you know.
Yeah.
The tall older guy.
Yeah.
I forget his name. But the scene between him and the German, where, you know, there's like, you don't usually see that kind of stuff between two older actors. Like with one. It wasn't really action, but it was physical. It was physicality. I mean, like falling into the arms of the other one and the dying scene and all this. It almost reminded me of Lord of the Rings between Sauron and Gandalf. You know, you don't usually see old guys fight each other. Well, you might. That didn't work.
Oh yeah, they have dementia usually. And
that's something I would like to see more of in movies. Old guys kicking each other's ass. Old women. That'd be cool. Old women kicking each other's ass. You crazy bitch. You got anything more to say about it?
No, I liked it.
Yeah, definitely worth seeing. Check it out.
Yep. All right.
All right.